So, moving on from that, all I need you to do, and I want to give you the rest of the class to work on it, is to work on those Utopia presentations. So I'm going to go through your Utopia planning sheets right now, and I will give you any feedback that I think you need on them, anything that I think you need to tweak or rethink or put more thought into. And your assignment is to turn that into a presentation. So however you want to do, so you need to start assembling some slides, you need to start assembling some visuals, some audio, think about how you're going to break things down. And the biggest, most important tip that I can give you on this is when you are making a presentation, don't put all the words of the presentation on the slide. Never, never do that. You should never be reading from the slide that you're presenting. So you're planning for this to be on December the 8th or whatever it was that we're going to meet again. You're going to be one at a time standing up here, presenting your vision with, on the projector, presenting your vision to the class. If you are doing it like this, it sucks. And that's it. Like, have you seen presentations where the person just reads off the screen?
Yeah.
It sucks 100% of the time. It doesn't matter how smart the words are or anything like that, it sucks 100% of the time. Nobody wants to look at your butt for the whole time. Well, I don't know, maybe some people want to look at your butt, but that's a separate issue. You don't want to, maybe we should think about it that way. Assume that everyone's looking at your butt and help that remind you to be facing your audience and not facing the screen. Maybe that's a helpful way. I just thought of that now. Maybe that's a helpful way to think about it. So you want to have key words, right, or key phrases, but you are talking about it, you're not reading it. Doesn't mean you can't have notes that you read from. It's a good idea to have notes that you're reading from. But the best presentations are, you look over your shoulder, all right, here's my 5 key points. You're going to talk for a couple minutes about each one, whatever. You've got the wireless mouse here so you can control it. You can click to the next slide or, uncover things or have fancy effects, whatever you want to do. But you're not reading off of the screen. The screen is just reminding you what you're talking about, and it's helping the audience to kind of visualize what you're talking about. So it turns out, and I'm sure that you've all had this experience if you think about it. If you are presenting with visuals, the audience is either reading what's on the screen or they're listening to you. They're not doing both. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a reader. If somebody's, unless the person talking is a really, really engaging speaker, naturally, then I'm reading the words on the screen. And while I'm doing that, I'm not hearing what they say. Our brains just don't really work that way. At least mine doesn't. And probably yours doesn't either. Maybe you'd be more likely to listen to the speaker rather than reading what's on the screen. And it's probably better if you do. But I don't find that my brain works that way. So if there's only a few words on the screen, the speaker loses my attention for a few seconds while I read those few words. But once I've read them, then I can go back to focusing my attention on the speaker. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? You ever had this? You start reading what's on the screen, and then you realize after a minute that you don't know what they're talking about anymore? Yeah. So this is part of the challenge, and this is what you have to consider when making a presentation. Try not to allow your audience to get distracted by a whole bunch of words. All right, any questions? I'm flexible on your format of choice. Google Slides is fine, PowerPoint is fine. You want to do some sort of a screencast thing where you've got your face in the corner talking while there's slides going on, you can do that too. Whatever is in your technical computational wheelhouse is fine with me. And that's all I got. All right, get her done. You've got the rest of class to work on it, and I will hopefully have your planning projects, planning assignments returned to all of you before the end of class.